one more camera and we will be in it to win it. All right, let's see. One more camera and we are good. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody. We are doing 45 minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and hopefully together practicing consistency, suffering on the floor with a whole bunch of other people on the internet helps you make a whole bunch of progress in your side splits. That is the goal. 45 minutes of side split stretching. Let's get started. We're going to do our first warm-up exercise right now, and these are called hip cars. Hip cars are all about using your muscles to get your leg through, to move through its full range of motion at the hip level. We're going to start by lifting the knee as high as you can, directly to the front. We're going to open up that hip directly to the side, whoosh, and keep that knee high as you can. Ooh. Then we're going to rotate around. I'm going to spin around so you can see what's going on with the leg. You don't have to move. We're going to go from high knee to rotating it around. Get it to horizontal first, and then work. Bring that knee down. You might be flexing your hamstring real hard. Last time I did this on the first rep, I got a little bit of a hamstring cramp. And then bring the leg down and back. We're trying to bring this knee behind the knee that's standing. We're trying to feel the stretch here in the hip flexor. We're trying to contract the hamstrings, contract the glutes, really pull that leg back. And that is one rep. We have 10 to do on the left, 10 to do on the right, and we're going to get right into it. Let's go. High knee, open, ankle up, ankle super up, leg down and back. High knee, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, leg super down and back. I think that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. 9. Last one. 10. Oh, hip cars. Left side. Done. Let's go. Right side. High knee. Open up. Rotate the leg so you hit horizontal first. Then bring that ankle up even higher. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings. Flex the glutes. Pull forward. That's 1. 2. 3. 4, 5, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. I think that's 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Whew. Hip cars going forward, done. Time to do some hip cars going backwards. Let's do it. Same general positions, but we're gonna do them in reverse order, going backwards. We're going to start by pulling that leg back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, really feel that contraction in the leg, in the glute, feel the stretch in the hip flexor. Lift the leg directly to the side, get horizontal first, then ankle up, ankle down. On the ankle down, lift that knee as high as you can and bring it forward. Ready? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 8, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, last one, that's 9, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 10. I know I went a little bit fast in the middle, so if you're just catching up, take your time. All right, let's go on to the final leg. Bring that leg back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull that leg up to the side, get it to horizontal first, then rotate the leg so the knee is down and the ankle is up. Reverse, ankle down, knee up. Bring that knee to the front. I'm waiting for my hip to click right here. Where is it? There it is. Boom. All right, let's keep going. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3, maybe. We'll just pretend that's 4, 5, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 6, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 7, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 8, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 9, last one, ankle up, reach, ankle down, lift that knee, front, oh, that's 10. We have just finished hip cars going forward, going back, 10 reps on each side, and that is the first of our warm-up exercises. I'm going to pop in over to the chat for a second and see how things are doing. Fee Home says hello. Hello. Foxy Roxy, hello. And scrolling over on TikTok. What is going on over here? Che has sent a ton of likes. Galleta, welcome back. Let's see. Tiffany says, hello, everyone. I have a slightly different phone stand set up, so if things are a little bit shaky when I'm scrolling on the phone, that is why. Don't think I'm going to do the same thing next time, tomorrow, but yeah. Jade says, Jade asks, do you have a YouTube channel? I absolutely do. It is the same username as TikTok and Instagram. It's at splits on the side. And I have a couple more long form videos on that platform, as well as a super concise, only action version of this show that we do for if you are in a rush and you can't make the lives. Whew, surprisingly out of breath. Okay, I'm scrolling down, seeing if there's anything else I need to reply to in the comments, and I am not seeing anything. So if I have missed something, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to get right back into the stretches. We just finished the first warm-up exercise. Those were the hip cars. Now we're going to move on into the elephant walks. Elephant walks look a little bit like this. We're basically just trying to touch our toesies. We're folding forward, getting into this L shape. If you're feeling like you're stuck a little bit higher up, that is absolutely okay. It is part of the process. What I want you to focus on is bring your belly button down as low as you can go. And as we hold this, you might notice that you can get a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower, but you don't have to push it super hard just yet. We got time to slowly loosen up and get into it. When you're here, if your knees are immediately starting to hurt, you can give it a little bit of relief, give it a slight bend, and focus on bringing that belly button down even lower. Because when you bend your knees, the hamstring stretch gets reduced, and because it's reduced, the other parts that are folding, the other parts that cause it to stretch, have a little bit of extra leeway, and that lets your hips fold forward a little bit more. Whew. All right, once we've hung out here for a little bit, adjust your feet, maybe choose a slightly wider position if that feels more comfortable, and chill, breathe, keep on trying to bring that belly button down to the ground, down. And now we're going to add in a little bit of movement. We're going to bend one knee and straighten the other leg. We're going to bend the other knee, straighten the other leg. Bend one knee, straighten the other leg. Bend. Bring your legs a little closer together. And keep on trying to bring that belly button down. Right now, you should feel a little bit uncomfortable. You should feel a whole bunch of weird stuff going on in your hamstrings, shifting around. And that is absolutely a-okay. That is exactly what we want. We want to loosen up all of the whatever the heck is going on in those hamstrings and make a move. Make a move so that we can unlock a whole bunch more flexibility in the hamstrings. We don't want it to get all gunky and stuck together. It sounds crazy, but that's actually a thing. And whew, we are folding deep. Keep bending one knee at a time. Change your width of the legs so that you can change the angles that your knees are hitting and see if that makes a bit of a difference. If you have a wider stance, there's a little bit more hip swinging back and forth, and the hamstrings get hit slightly differently. Whew. With that, I think we've done enough of those. If your toes are a little bit tingly, shake them out. If your calves are a little bit tingly, shake them out. And we are going to move on into some thoracic rotation. We're getting back into that same position that we were just in. Folding forward, knees slightly bent. We're going to straighten one leg. Right now my right leg is straight. We're going to reach across with the left hand, push and rotate the chest to the right, extend the right arm, look back with your face. Those eyeballs rotate to the right and come on down. We're gonna do the same on the left. Left leg is straight, right leg is bent. Right hand reaches across, pushes, your chest is rotating to the left, your left arm extends behind you, and come on back down. That is one. We're gonna do 5 more. Let's go. Fold forward, straighten one leg, reach across, push against that straightened leg, and rotate. This is one of the 5. 2. Keep on reaching. See if you can reach a little bit further. Every rep, we're only doing 5, so it's possible to make a little bit of progress each rep as you warm up the back and get it prepared. I think this is 4. It might have already been 5, but here's one more. And 5. Come on up. I hope you feel a little bit of strain here in the shoulders from reaching back behind you. I hope your back feels a little bit looser from getting that rotation in, because that's all we're doing for those. We're moving on and we're getting into the third warm-up exercise, the Cossack switch. The Cossack switch looks a little bit like this. We'll open up our legs. It doesn't have to be super precise. We are trying to drop down to one side and hang out in a position that looks vaguely like this. What I want you to try to do is make sure your knees are always traveling in the same direction that your toes are pointing. This will help keep you pretty strong because the bones are right underneath each other and supporting each other. If you end up like this with your knee pointing in or your knee out, technically your muscles, if they're strong enough, can totally support you, but it takes a lot of stress and puts it right into your knees, and we don't really need that for our goals. So avoid it. Cool? From here, when you drop down, I'm exaggerating to show you what my ankles are doing, but you can rotate your ankles wherever you would like. I'm gonna open them real wide so you can see that we are feeling a stretch in the Achilles tendon. We're feeling that calf stretch. We're feeling some pressure in the front of the ankle right here. We're feeling pressure in the hip, and we're feeling the quads firing real hard. Now, I want you to try your best to sit down, rest your hamstrings on your calves, and try to squish down as small and compact as you can. When you sit down and you squish, your heels might come up, and that is totally okay for now. Squish. While we squish, let's talk about this leg over here. Right now, my heel is down, my toes are up, and my knees are pointing up. This is called external leg rotation. We need it in order to get into the side splits. In fact, pretty much from the middle of my body outwards, this is already in a side split position. And we want to hang out in this position because in the Cossack switches, we're building a little bit of strength. We want to get used to this position and get it warmed up. So when we get to the side splits, they will work for us. Sounds good? Let's go. We're going to switch over to the other side, squish down on the other side, and we're going to put our hands down, lift our butts just a little bit, come on over to the other side. And once again, we are bringing the knees, pointing them over the toes. We're feeling that Achilles tendon stretch, feeling the calves get stretched, feeling the pressure in the front of the ankle, feeling the pressure in the hip, feeling the quads fire and get super tired. Then we're going to find a comfortable position where the hamstring rests on top of the calves. We're going to try and squish down on this side. And once again, this leg, heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. We're going to sit here for a little bit, and then we're going to start doing the actual switches, going from side to side. I'm going to get rid of this cushion. because we don't need it right now. We'll need it in a second. And I'm gonna talk about and demonstrate a couple of different ways to do the Cossack switches, and then you can start. I'm gonna do 2, and then we'll do 10 together. Sounds good? From here, you can keep your hands low on the ground, give yourself a whole bunch of support, help shift your butt over to the other side. And when you get to the other side, I want you to, instead of getting into our regular squish position, I want you to try to have your heel planted on the ground and try to get as deep as you can here. And then you can put your hands back down, help yourself get to the other side. Remember, the goal is to bring the hips down and keep the heels down. So don't worry so much about exactly what the knee is doing. Focus on keeping that heel down and stable. Whew. All right. If you are ready to progress it, you can take your hands off the ground and keep leaning forward to make it a little bit easier on yourself. And that is how we are starting. Let's do this together. We got 10 reps. We're gonna go from side to side, and it's gonna look like this. When you sit down on each end, I want you to try to hang out for a little bit. Make sure your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are up. If you don't remember everything perfectly, that is absolutely 100% okay. You don't need to remember everything, and you don't need to do everything perfectly. As long as you're doing a little bit of something, we are good. And over time, over a couple of days, you'll remember this, you'll remember that. I'll keep on nagging you to do this, and I'll keep nagging you to do that. And one of these days, we'll get everything, and then it will become muscle memory for you, and this will become easy. Easy-ish. All right, I have absolutely no idea how many of these we've done. I think it's got to be at least 5, so I'm going to start counting from there. 6 on the right, 6 on the left, 7 on the right, 7 on the left. Again, we're trying to pause for just a second on each side. Get squished down, but this time with our heels low. You might be feeling like your back is getting quite a stretch in, and that is a-okay. If you need to take a break, go ahead and take it. But I think this is the last rep. That was 9 and 10. All right, come on up. Breathe, relax. I don't know what's going on with me today, but I feel like I was really bent forward. And so the upper, probably half, upper third of my back feels like it was going like this to really help me stay balanced. If you are struggling with that, you can always extend your arms out in front of you to help you with balance. Does that make sense? Whew. Okay. That is our warm-up exercises. We are done with the really intense hard part that feels like cardio. And now we're moving on to some stretches. The first stretch that we're gonna do is going to be on one knee at a time. So I recommend you go grab a cushion, a pillow, a flip-flop, a shoe, something with a little bit of foam, a little bit of padding that you can squish your knee on. While you go grab that, everybody else, go drink some water. And I'm gonna come check the chat one more time. Over here on YouTube, Foxy Roxy says, oh, I've watched that video. It was great. Thank you for making it. Oh, great. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't know. Thank you for watching the long form video on YouTube. I appreciate it. Astrid Bell says, oh my God. I assume that was about the Cossack switches. They are very hard, indeed. But they're really great for your hips. They're really great for your ankles. They're really great for your knees. They're really great for having a controlled way of moving from side to side and working all of these different muscles, including this position down here, where basically from my groin over, we are in a side split position already. So if you ever feel like you can't make the side split, just know there are no muscles that tie between your left leg and the right leg. So while this isn't a perfect example, you can definitely do almost one leg or pretty close on each side, and now you just have to figure out how to combine the two. So you're getting close, and you can do it. All right, I'm gonna scroll through the chat a little bit faster. FB Marcos says, that feels great. Lovely. Gayeta, okay, there we go, has come back to the top, and we are talking about, we were talking about the YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. It has the same exact username as TikTok. At splits on the side. Cool. Thank you for following. And let's get on into our next, or I guess our first stretch. I guess the elephant walk kind of counts as a stretch. All right. I hope you're ready. Grab that sip of water. We're getting to some stretches. The first stretch that we're going to do is the hamstring stretch. We're going to drop down to one knee. If you have a big enough cushion, you can drop down to both knees for a second here. We're pointing the hips forward, shoulders forward, head forward, everything forward. We're going to stick the leg. We want to stretch out in front. If you are immediately off balance and you're struggling, you can widen that stance a little bit, both with the back leg and the front leg, just so you have a little bit more stability. And I want you to fold at the belly button. Or, sorry, I want you to fold at the hips. But I want you to imagine bringing the belly button down towards the thigh. All right? This is the starting position. And we're going to work from here. I'm going to rotate around so you can see what the body is doing a little bit better than just my big head taking up half the screen. And here we are. Folding the belly button down. The hamstrings should be tightening right up, be kind of unhappy at you, and that is absolutely a-okay. From here, we're going to take a nice big deep breath in. We're going to slowly exhale, and we're going to try and fold. Bring the belly button down, bring the belly button down. Try to keep the back relatively straight. Remember, this is about the belly button. It's not about your chest. It's not about your head. You don't have to bring those things down. They don't actually make you more flexible. Maybe your upper back is a little bit more flexible, but we don't care about that. That's not important. All right. From here, I hope you've taken some normal breaths so I come up with bad jokes. Take another big inhale. Another exhale and fold. I feel those hamstrings tightening up, being very unhappy, and we are basically ready. 30 seconds of stretching. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Remember, it's bringing the belly button down, trying to keep the back relatively straight. If there's a little bend, it's a-okay. But if you're going like this and curling into a ball, that is too much. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is hamstring stretch 1 for the leg. We're going to rotate, turn that around, or actually, no, we're not. We're just going to switch knees. And we're going to keep going and do hamstring stretch number 2 for the other leg. Once again, we're pointing our hips forward, shoulders forward, head forward, extending the leg out in front. If you are wobbling a little bit because balance is not your thing, you can point your ankle out just a little bit and widen your stance. Next, we're going to take that belly button. We're going to bring it down towards the thigh. We're going to inhale and fold. Ready? Inhale. Exhale and fold. Ooh, joy. That hamstring is getting stretched. Take some normal breaths. Try your best to relax. And we're going to do one more inhale, exhale. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale. Fold. And once you get as low as you can go, maybe you'll be like, my knees, they kind of hurt, they ache. If you give them a slight bend, it'll reduce some stress on the hamstrings. It'll reduce the pain in the knees, and you can actually bring that belly button down even lower. Maybe the chest will come down too, while still keeping the back straight. And then you can focus on extending the leg straight after you have brought your knee to the chest. All right? Hope that makes sense, because we're starting. 30 seconds. 30. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, you might have noticed that one hamstring, one leg, is way tighter than the other, and that is kind of normal. It's not irregular. That cushion that you were using for your knee, you can toss it. You can get it out of the way. We don't need it anymore. Just try not to break anything. Man, I'm super tired. That hamstring stretch killed me. I'm just stumbling along. Whew. Take a sip of water. Relax for a second. And we're going to jump right into stretch number 2, the butterfly stretch. But before we do that, I feel like I haven't said this yet today. We're doing 45 minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every day to build consistency, to build a little bit of community so that we can suffer on the floor together and practice it frequently and make that a little bit less miserable so that we can make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals. So if having some place that's a little bit more fun, where I try to bring good vibes, is going to help you be more consistent, is going to help you stretch a little bit more, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep on coming back. We are here every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and on weekends we're also here at 9 a.m. Eastern. All right, butterfly stretch, let's do it. I recommend you do this by getting your butt to a wall and having a nice little stable wall support you. I'm gonna come over to the corner here, and I see that TikTok is a little bit cut off, but you'll just have to bear with me, I'm sorry. When you get to the wall, I want you to try to make sure your hips, your shoulder, your head are up against the wall. You can figure out what decent posture is supposed to feel like, and we're gonna pull the feet in together and towards your groin. What we have here is the knees are gonna be up high, and our goal is to bring the knees down as low as they can go. I want you to strengthen your muscles whenever we do something together. So I want you to use these outer thigh muscles, and I want you to use your glutes to pull your legs open. I'm gonna go do this stretch in front of this table leg instead of the wall, but I recommend, if you can, stick with the wall. From here, we're pulling the, ooh, table slid. Okay, let me adjust my butt one more time. And from here, once you have used that outer thigh, those glutes, and worked on contracting those muscles to bring your knees down towards the ground, it's not easy. If this is your first time doing it, you might be a little confused. You're like, what muscles are you talking about? That's weird. That's okay. Take your time. It's all right. And the more you practice, the more you'll figure it out. Once you've tried your best, take your hands, apply a little bit of pressure right underneath the knee, and you might suddenly feel the back of your shoulders, the back of your head pushing into the wall, pushing into the table, and you're going, oh, what the heck? That's weird. That's basically the wall keeping you from falling backwards because you're pushing into your leg, and the rest of your body also wants to go back. So it's helping us apply force into the legs, which means it's a good thing. Let's go. We're holding this for 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, remember to breathe, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. You can try to do the big inhale, exhale, fold thing that we did with the hamstrings for the butterfly stretch and see if that helps, because only I have to count. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Remember, you're contracting muscles, but you don't have to hold them the whole time. You can relax them a little bit. Keep on pushing those legs apart, and then contract them some more and pull them in with your muscles. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let the hands go. If your legs are feeling a little weird, they're like, what the heck? I can't move my legs. What's going on? Don't be afraid. Just give your legs a little bit of a wiggle. When you contract them and you push against them for a long time, some of the muscles stop paying attention and they get a little sleepy. So give them a little wiggle, and your legs should be good to go. When they are, come back into standing, and we are going to move on into some standing pancake. see some chat coming in, so I'm gonna check real quick. Courtney, not Kardashian, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for doing this. This helps me so much. Oh, lovely. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sending some good vibes into the chat. I appreciate it. So thank you, and we're gonna keep going. Let's go. We just finished the second of our 5 stretches. The third one that we're gonna do is called the standing pancake. And it looks basically like this. We're gonna open up our legs decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy. Does not have to be painful here in the hips. If you're already feeling pain, bring those legs in. And we're gonna fold right here at the hips. We're bringing the belly button down, make them face the floor. And that's it. That's the start of the standing pancake. From here, you can make a whole bunch of adjustments. You can let the legs slide out a little bit further. If you can try and bring your belly button even lower, bring your chest down as well from the side. It's gonna look a little bit like this. We folded first, then once we folded, we can decide if we wanna open up the legs and get into more of a stretch here, sideways. And I want you to focus primarily on bringing that belly button down. The standing pancake is all about folding forward. We're trying to bring our chest in between our legs, and it is going to be really hard. It's really hard. So we use the standing pancake because gravity gives us a whole bunch of help trying to pull our upper body down into the ground. If this is a little bit challenging for you, or if you want a slightly safer variation, you can find a wall to rest your butt against, and you can fold forward from there. Having something to lean your butt against helps you feel a little bit more stable, helps you adjust a little bit more, and that might be all the help that you need to get way deeper into the stretch. You can also do the same thing from a chair. Just make sure the chair doesn't slide and slip around. Make sure it's against something that will not move. Cool? All right, let's get into standing pancake. From here, once you have folded forward, let the legs go as wide as you are comfortable going. The wider you go, the more shaky and painful it will be for your leg muscles because you are generally going to be weaker at these extreme ranges of motion. Focus on bringing the belly button down, 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 down. Extend your arms if you want to get more leverage, more power from gravity. And that's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. Try to keep the back relatively straight. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but I don't want your head to turn like this into a ball. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. You can experiment with working on that center of balance. You can throw your hips back a little bit to see if your chest comes up a little bit so you're not staring 1 inch from the ground. If that doesn't make any sense, you can just ignore me. We'll deal with that later. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. If you need to take a break, you can always put your hands down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're almost done. 2, 1. 0. Put your hands down. You can heel toe walk your feet in if that doesn't make any sense. Just put all your weight on your heels, move your toes in. All your weight on your toes, move your heels in. You'll slowly crawl your legs together and bring them closer to the center of your body. And if you feel like you're stuck sort of in this granny position, just take your time. Come on out of it. Breathe. Wiggle those hips a little bit. If you were here from the beginning doing some hip cars, do some hip circly things. Just give them a little bit of movement so that your legs are recovered and able to move again. Shake out the legs. Shake them out. Wiggle. Ooh, today was rough. Oh my gosh. I went to the gym before this, so this could be the consequences of me just being tired. But I hope it's not the consequences of me overstretching, because I do this every day. Okay. That is the standing pancake. If you are still feeling quite stiff and feeling like that was crazy, keep on shaking out your legs. Keep on shaking, 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 shaking. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Move those hips, move those legs, and make sure to breathe. We're going to move right on into stretch number 4. It is usually either the pigeon or the figure four. If you have a favorite, if you already know what's going on, you can pick your favorite and you can get to it. If you don't know what's going on, the figure four and the pigeon generally look like this. We're bringing the ankle across the body. We're bringing the ankle and the belly button close together, and it's gonna look, or you're gonna feel it at least, somewhere here in the side of the glute, in the side of the hip. All right? That's the gist of it. I think yesterday we did pigeon, so today I'm gonna do the figure four. The figure four is a slightly easier variation to get into. You need a little less technique, and let's start by sitting our bums down on the ground and laying down. So, like I said earlier, we are crossing the leg over to the other side. Rest it just below the knee, and we're gonna reach our hands through that triangle you just made and around the triangle you just made to pull the leg in. Super straightforward. You might feel a little bit of a stretch in the hamstrings as well as the outer hips. And all you gotta do is pull. Pull, 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 pull. You wanna pull the leg towards your, okay, fine. Pull the leg towards your chest, and that's it. This is the stretch. We're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. If your knee gets a little bit achy, you can palm or cup, kind of figure out what word I was gonna use, your knee and give it a little bit of extra support. All right, let's go. 30 seconds, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. The one con for this stretch is you have to work really hard and pull that leg in towards you. Work on those muscles. The pro is if anything feels weird, you can adjust immediately. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Remember, you're supposed to feel it out here in that side hip, in that side of the glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oof. That's the figure four on the left side. We're gonna take a second to breathe, and then we're gonna rotate around and do the other side. I'm gonna face towards you guys again, so you can see what my legs are doing. And what am I doing? We're doing the other leg. Which one's the other leg? This one. Crossing the leg over to the other side, resting it just below the knee, reaching the hand through the triangle you just made and around, and we're pulling that leg towards our chest. If your knees are a little achy, you can cup the knee. If you have short legs or long arms or some amount of flexibility, you can maybe wrap your elbow around your knee bow. Let's go. Let me spin around. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Remember, this isn't about how squishy you are. This is about how much stretch you feel in that side glute, that side hip. So focus on that. Focus on the right things. We're not trying to turn into little roly-poly bugs. We are trying to feel that stretch and lengthen the muscles. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let the legs go. Relax for a second. If you have been pulling really, really, really hard this whole time, then you're probably tired and you need a break. So enjoy that break while I stand up and we talk about some side splits. We have just wrapped up 4 of our 5 stretches. The 5th and final set of stretches is 3 rounds of side splits. And if you're like, wait, what side splits? You probably have no idea what we're doing. So we do 45 minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, to build a little community so that you can suffer on the ground a little bit with other people. And I try to bring good vibes so that it makes it a little bit more fun when we do said suffering. Hopefully, that makes us practice consistency, makes it a little bit more fun, makes it a little bit more engaging, and we all make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals. So if that sounds fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. And with that, let's talk about side splits. We are going to try and set up in front of something very, very stable. I'm going to try not to smash my head into anything by accident, but in this case, here we have a wall. I recommend you use a wall because walls are nice and stable and they will not betray you. So from here, if you stand about 12 inches in front of a wall and you get into some sort of side split, you start falling backwards. You're like, whoa, what's going on? Ah! If the wall is right here, it's going to help keep you safe. All right? You're going to maybe smash a shoulder. Maybe your butt will hit the wall. Maybe your mid-back will hit the wall. As long as your head is not pointed backwards, ready to punch through the wall, you're going to be fine and it's not going to hurt as much. If you were to do that same thing way over here and you're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And then you smashed your butt into the ground, that would be a way bigger fall and way more painful. So I recommend having a wall behind you. I don't expect you to fall backwards, not at all. But if it helps you feel safer and it helps you feel secure and it costs you nothing, then I recommend hang out right in front of the wall when we do the side splits. Cool? 6 to 12 inches is probably enough. 12 inches is probably a little bit better. And yeah, that's it. Let's go. Let's do some side splits. Open up those legs decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy wide. It doesn't have to hurt at the hips. So if it's already hurting, come back up just a little bit. Fold at the hips. This is exactly what we're doing when we did the standing pancake. Put your hands down this time and imagine doing a little bit of a push-up. We're doing this push-up because we want to make sure there's weight in the front of our body, in our arms, and there's less weight in our legs because we want our legs to externally rotate, which means the heels are down, the toes are up, and the knees are up. If you're feeling strong, you can just rip right into it, no big deal. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. But if you're feeling a little bit less strong, putting some weight in your hands makes it so there's a little less weight in your legs and it's easier to get into this position. All right. From here, we are in position for a side split. If you remember what the Cossack switch looked like, you might realize that this looks pretty similar to a kind of high Cossack switch on one side. From here, we're going to walk our hands back towards our hips. We're going to try to put all that weight that we shifted over there in front of us back into our legs. And this is the first rep, so it might be a little bit challenging. You might feel a little tight. That is absolutely a-okay. When you can, do a little wiggle from side to side. Oof. See if you can break the friction holding your feet back from sliding out and get to that deepest position you can hit for now. Whew. All right, that's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. Remember to breathe. Try to relax as much as you can. I know it's hard because your legs are going crazy directions. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Keep breathing. 12, 11, 10, 9. You can add a little wiggle in at any time so you can get a little bit deeper. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Crawl, pull the legs in. Come into a kneeling position. Chill for a second. Breathe. And when you can, come back into standing. What we just did was put a whole bunch of tension in all these crazy muscles in our legs, muscles that we've never felt before, and we are going to shake it out. We're going to try and relax the muscles using the opposite of tension. We're going to try to relax. We're going to try to flop. We're going to try to look like jello. We're going to try to wiggle. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is your first time, we're going to start like this. Imagine you just got out of a swimming pool, a river, a pond, and you're flicking the water off of your legs. You're like, ugh, it's so wet. Can I dry faster so I can put on my socks? That is the feeling of this thing that we're doing right now. We're shaking out the legs, Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And the goal is to have your ankles flop around, have your calves feel loose, have your legs, just in general, flop, 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 flop. All right? This, because I'm explaining it, feels a little bit slow, I know. But as you get better at this, at relaxing your muscles and shaking them out, it'll start getting faster and faster and faster. And you can use this at any time in moments where your muscles are tense, where your muscles are stressed, like in between sets in a workout, to help relax the muscles so that you can get a little bit more out of your next rep. What we're doing is preparing our bodies for the second side split. We're just shaking out the legs, letting the muscles relax, and I want you to imagine that we are turning into Jello. Just flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Noodles, overcooked ramen, or sorry, a cup of noodles that have just been turning soggy, and once your legs are feeling a little bit more loose, maybe give yourself a little light massage in the hips, and we're gonna get right into side split number 2. Once again, get up to that wall, whatever it is that is going to help keep you safe, and open up those legs. Not about pain in the hips, it's just about getting into a good starting position so you can put your hands down on the ground. Let's do a little mini push-up. Make sure weight is in your arms so that it's easier to externally rotate. Your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are pointing up. And from here, see if you can just drop deeper into the side split. We are already in that position. Walk your hands back towards your hips. Put that weight right back into your legs. Whew. Feel those hamstrings getting stretched out, and do a little wiggle from side to side. You might be able to come down a little bit deeper now compared to that first rep. Great. From here, we're ready. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Remember to breathe. Definitely do not hold your breath. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. If you want to add a little bit of complexity to this because you're crazy, you can try to fold forward at the hips like we were doing the pancake. Combine, multitask. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Walk your hands forward. Come on out of that stretch. And bring those knees in. Breathe, chill, relax. If the way I've been getting out of these is a little crazy for you, like how is he doing that? We got other variations. And while you guys recover from the second side split, let's talk about them. Maybe say you're stuck a little bit higher up, but your hands are down. It's totally possible for you to try to lean forward and bend your knees. Right? That's basically what we're doing. But if you're really low to the ground as it is, and you only have a couple inches left, you can try, because the wall is behind you, just sit against that wall and slide and fall down and land on your butt. If you're already on your butt, then you can just pull your legs in, crawl around, fumble, whatever it is that you need to do. There's another advantage of having the wall. If you have the wall there, it won't let you fall back too hard, too fast, and you can just slide on down. I'm gonna give you another visual. If we're in that tight position, we're close-ish to the wall, just a couple inches away. If you sit back against it, this is gonna cause me trouble because I have my leg in between some chairs. Helps you slide down onto your butt. And then you can pull the legs in and come out of it. So you don't have to do it the exact way I do it. And yeah, that was the thing. Let's go, come on up. We're gonna shake it out and help those leg muscles to relax. flick, 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 like we're getting water off of our legs, and then pick up the intensity, shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 flop. As you get more skilled at this, I don't want all of the movement to just come from the knees. I want a little bit to come from the hips as well. So you're like, swimming like a dolphin. I don't know, maybe. Shake out those legs, wiggle, 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 wiggle. If you can add in a little bit of in and out rotation as well. If that is a little bit too hard to figure out right now, you can plant a toe in the ground and then internally rotate, externally rotate, which just means point your knees in, point your knees out, and just do that nice and gentle. It's not super intense. We're just loosening up the muscles that are tight. I hope you've shaken out all of your legs already and not just follow me doing exactly what I was doing, because you probably didn't have to do this many seconds on each leg. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Toe down. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And if your legs are ready, well, I guess you don't have a choice, because I'm going into side split number 3. Let's go. Stand pretty close to that wall, pretty close to that chair, because it is there to help you stay safe and comfortable when you're getting in and out of side splits or falling backwards. Open up those legs. Make sure there's no pain at the hips. If there is pain, come on up a little bit. Fold forward. Put your hands down like you're going to do a little bit of a push-up. Shift the weight into your arms so it's easier to externally rotate your legs, which means your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are up. And from here, we're going to sit into that position. We're going to try and get deeper and relax in that stretch. My butt is resting against the table leg, so it's not me being Superman right now with my hands up. I got a little support from behind. You can use your wall to do the same thing. Give yourself a little bit of support. Walk the hands back, 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 back. Make sure all of the make sure all of the body weight that you have is right over your legs. And one last wiggle from side to side. I didn't make any progress. That's fine. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost done. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Well, actually, we've just talked about this. If you're pretty deep already, you can just kind of sit your butt down. Oh, and then close your legs together. Oh, man. Okay. I think that was harder. Maybe don't do this one. You tell me which one you like better. Oh, okay. When you can, after you've rested for a little bit, come back up into standing and shake it out. We're shaking it out one last time. Make it count. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake, 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 shake. We're trying to relax all the muscles in our body as much as possible. And we know this works because if your muscles were all tense, you would work and move like a little robot. All right? We're not trying to be robots. We're trying to be wiggles and floppy, shaky, loose people. I don't know. This is not a great analogy. We're going to move on. Keep on shaking those legs. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And as you get more familiar with this, you can afford to be a little bit more aggressive with the shakes, a little bit more aggressive with the wiggle, with the loosening of those muscles. And since this is the last one, we're going to very intentionally focus on the hips for just a couple of reps. I'm going to ask you to pop into a mini squat just a little bit. We're going to do exactly what we talked about earlier with the toes and internally and externally rotate, but we're going to take it up to the next level and make it really good for your hips. So we're popping that squat. We're pointing one side, getting on the balls of the feet. we're going to rotate at the hip socket, bring that knee in towards the center of your body. We're going to rotate again to bring that knee out to the outside of your body. I'm going to do this 3, 4, maybe 5 times. That's at least 2 that I've demonstrated. So I'll do 5 and you can do 3 or 4. In, out, in, out, in, out. Whew. Move that hip. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Pop into a mini squat. You don't have to have your legs super far apart. You can keep them pretty close. Make sure all the movement is coming from that leg at the hip. Your upper body is not moving. Your hips are not moving. It's just the leg at the point where it connects to the hip. In, out, in, out, in, out, and now we're basically done. Everything we got left is just to shake out, loosen, relax, and make sure your body is working. If you want to play a little bit of hacky sack, I find that this muscle right here, when I lift the leg up right here in the hip, feels like it really needs it. So I like to do a little bit of this. I like to add in some stanky legs. We already did that, but you can turn it into more of a fun move than that very technical whoosh, 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 whoosh thing. If you want to go in, out, or do them both at the same time and turn them into real dance moves, that is something you should absolutely do, because we want to make this fun. We want to make this enjoyable. And if that is what it's going to take to make it happen, then go for it. All right. I think it's time to wrap this up. So let's get into some quick joint checks just to make sure everything is working as it should. We're going to start with some hip circles. Just take our time. Really get as deep as you can into those angles. We've done so much for the hips. We're going to do some more for the hips. I always feel a bunch of pressure and tension on the sides of my hips, so these feel really good. We're going to keep on going. Do some high knees. Work those hip flexors. If nothing feels weird, you can probably just move on. But if something does feel weird, keep doing them. Do a couple more. Next, we're going to get into a little bit of a squat. I want you to fold at the hips. I want you to put pressure in the knees, put pressure in the ankles, put pressure into those toesies, and I want you to try to do a little bit of a calf raise. If you need to hold on to something for balance, if you need to hold on to a wall, that is totally fine. Whew. Come on up. If everything felt more or less normal for you, then we're good. We're all wrapped up. We made sure all the joints are working well together, keeping you balanced, stable, and that means it's time for you to go do something else. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed our live side split stretching, and I hope that you know we do this every single day for about 45-ish minutes, and I'm pretty sure we're a little bit long, but we do this every day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and hopefully to make a bunch of progress towards our side splits together. So if you had fun, if you felt like you had a really good workout, if you enjoyed, please hit follow, subscribe, keep coming back. We are all about practice and consistency, and I would love to welcome you if you are trying to pursue a New Year's resolution or something, and you are trying to get consistent, because this is the place to be. All right. Whew. That was a lot of talking. I'm ready to wrap up. I'm gonna drop the cameras to a seated height so I can actually sit down and read what is going on in the chat. I feel like I haven't been here in a little bit. Galicia says, hi. Oh, I missed, but I'm going to do it after you finish. Galicia, welcome. It's good to see you. And over here, I think that is, yep, over here on TikTok, Astrid says, you are amazing. Thanks, was fun. Some was hard. Absolutely. It's not going to be easy. If you are working on a goal, a physical goal especially, it's going to take some adaptation. And if it's too comfortable, that adaptation is not going to come very easily. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging. But hopefully, because we do it together, we do it with consistency, we do it with community. I try to bring good vibes. You try to bring good vibes into the chat. We can make the suffering a little bit easier while we make some progress together. Cool. V says, felt a little stronger. Lovely, lovely. All right, I'm gonna scroll up. Hey, Meta, thank you for the roses. Ganowski says, I'm so late. I'm sorry, my schedule is still so crazy. It's totally okay. I'm sorry that your schedule is all over the place. I hope it becomes a little bit more regular soon. But you're not that late. It's okay. Everything's fine. Lulu says hello, 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 hello. Okay, I think that is. Ooh, Chase says, is there a reason for the order of these stretches? Absolutely. Okay. I don't get that question very often, so let's talk about it. The first thing I want to do when people come in is I don't expect you to be warmed up at all. I don't expect you to have done any exercise at all today. I expect you to maybe have sat in a chair working on a computer or something, then sat in a car or sat on public transportation. And for that reason, we do a ton of warm up, right? The first warm up is all about the hips. It's the hip cars, and we're trying to get our muscles engaged and trying to get that leg to move through its full range of motion using muscle power. TikTok is about to send me a puzzle to solve because I have been live for over an hour and it makes me solve a puzzle every hour. Give me a second. There we go. And that is how we start. It's definitely not the most fun way to start. I feel like when your muscles are tired or you're sleepy or whatever, you're like, oh gosh, this is awful. But I think it's important that we get the hard stuff out of the way so we get the blood pumping so the legs and the hips are ready for the other stuff. The second thing that we do is the elephant walk, and that is because I want you to start relatively gentle and build up as we go. And the elephant walk seems like a nice way to do that. We use the hamstrings a lot. The hamstrings are super critical in pretty much every stretch that we do. Doesn't matter if it's the pigeon, you're feeling a little bit of a hamstring stretch. If you're doing the actual elephant walks, you're feeling the hamstring stretch. If you're doing the standing pancake, you're feeling a hamstring stretch. Every single movement has a bit of hamstring. So I try to do the elephant walk to start to get us slowly warmed up into getting those hamstrings worked. And then what else? The Cossack switch is actually probably the most useful and most important of all of the exercises because it works so many different things. One, we get into this position down here, which on one side is basically your side split already, just by default. You're basically there because we're rotating the leg, the external rotation, and we are really low to the ground, and our leg is like sticking right out, and there's pressure from gravity pulling our weight down to get that leg to be straight. So this is a warm up for the side split. On this side, we got a couple of things. We got some ankle mobility going, we got some hip mobility going, and we're strengthening the quads, and we're strengthening a whole bunch of muscles. From the Cossack switch, as you get more advanced, I want you to focus on slightly different things than the stuff that I usually talk about. One of them being, I want you to imagine that you're using this leg to pull you out of this position. So I want you to contract the hamstrings, pull that ankle towards you, and come over to the other side. This is strengthening all the muscles in your leg. Most people are focused mostly on just powering through with this leg, letting this leg completely relax. And I want you to combine both so that this is a pulling action and not just passive. Anyways, it's really good for your hips. It's really good for getting the blood pumping. It's really good for getting your legs ready for the suffering that is to come. The hamstring stretches are self-explanatory because I talked about how important hamstrings are. Then what else? Butterfly. So the butterfly stretch is basically a side split with your legs bent. If you imagine pulling your leg all the way in and bringing it down, and this angle, if you were to sort of extend that leg out that way and rotate so the knees are still down, this is basically a side split, except you're at a slightly reduced angle. But what we're focusing on is opening up this part, right? Trying to bring the knees down into the ground and having that rotation in the hip. That's why we do the butterfly. And one of the things that happens with the butterfly is if you start applying pressure to the knees, you are pushing your back further away from you, and that's why we have the wall. The standing pancake is super, super tied to the side split or the middle splits, and you basically train both at the same time, even if you think you aren't. To get into the full middle splits, you need to have a bunch of mobility here, folding forward at the hips. So inevitably, you'll have to train the pancake a little bit in order to get enough of the forward fold to get into the side splits. You don't need as much forward fold as you do for like a perfect pancake, but you need a bunch. And that is why we do the standing pancake. What's left? What we got? The pigeon. The pigeon stretches out these glute muscles. And if you recall during the side splits, I like to do this thing afterwards. This is basically just a pigeon, right? But the leg is actively moving back and forth. And that's because these muscles over here feel really tight when we do the side splits. Everything that we do is to, I should start with this. Everything that we do is to pre-stretch some of the muscles that the side splits are going to be using. And sometimes they're going to be more intense than what the side split demands, so that we have an abundance of flexibility and we don't have to worry about that particular muscle when we are doing the side splits. That's what everything is for when we talk about the stretches. And then I think I explained the warm-ups, right? The warm-ups are just to get your blood pumping, to go from totally cold, because I know it's wintertime in the US, and get you ready, a little bit steamy and sweaty, so that when we get to the stretches, you're ready to go. Cool? All right, that was a long explanation. I'm gonna scroll all the way down and see what the reaction to that was. Jay says, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Guy, this says, thank you, Ken, Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you very much. Amazing. Okay, we still have a bunch of people on. Great, great, great. Let me know if there are any other questions in the chat that I need to respond to. In the meantime, I am scrolling up through the chat to see if there is anything I have missed. And inevitably, because my thumb is moving so fast, I am probably going to miss something. Che asked about the order of the stretches. Username updated, wrote, hell yeah. Thank you. Oh, and you shared the live, even better. Thank you so much for the support. And I am back up to Courtney, not Kardashian. Lovely. Okay, so I think we've covered most of the chat, and I think it's almost time to wrap up so you guys can go do other stuff. Astrid says, great. That was great. Lovely. I'm glad you had fun. Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time. We do 45-ish minutes of live side split stretching. That's my goal, at least, every single day, to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. We are all wrapped up now, so if you're just joining in, for example, on YouTube, you're probably confused, but we do 45 minutes of live side split stretching every day at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is about an hour ago, to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. I try to bring good vibes into the internet, and I hope you bring good vibes into the chat and support each other while we continue to practice and train and suffer a little bit every day towards our side split goals. So if that sounds fun, if that sounds cool, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We are live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. If for some reason you can't make it and you don't want to just take a day off, I also have a version of this show as a long form YouTube video. It's like 15 minutes long. There's zero explanation, there's zero talking, so you can do this quietly somewhere, I guess. And it's only 15 minutes. We do a lot of explaining in this version, so I try to be very inclusive of anybody who's coming in for the first time and has never been here before, and that takes a little bit of time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you felt welcomed, and I hope to see you tomorrow, because I will still be here. Doesn't matter what day it is, I'm practicing consistency. All right, that's it for me. Thank you everybody for coming in. I hope to see you soon. Closing out the chat now. Goodbye, YouTube.